Okay. And then now from that, you now got the national winners, and now we're going to have judges who are going to judge the 45 brilliant minds right now. What are some of the criteria that these judges are going to be looking for so that we can get the, absolute winner?
The judges are very experienced people. We have people from all across the whole sector. We have people from the financial industry, agriculture, tech community these are people who have 10 to 15 years experience in the industry, who have come from across the continent to judge. So the criteria they'll be looking at, we have issues like sustainability, like we earlier mentioned. We have to look at sustainability. We have to look at the user experience. How easy is it to be used by an average farmer? We also look at the innovation part of it. Is it something you've created, or is it a copycat? If it's a copycat, it can't qualify. So it has to have the innovative part of it to show that it doesn't exist anywhere in the world. We also have to look at the revenue model. Is it something that can generate money? Because
yes.
what we're looking at as entrepreneurs, those are the kind of
Criterias,
items that the judges will be looking at.
And now from the criteria, now we go into the awards. So what kind of awards that are going to be there? Are you going to give them mostly from a layman's perspective, probably a laptop, to boost it, or are you going to give them a whole system of servers? What are you going to be giving them?
Thank you. So the levels differ. The national winners, we're taking back home MacBook Pros, which are usually worth 1.7 million Rwandan francs. So they also did their best. But for the regional one, it's a class apart. We will be awarding them 5,000 euros. The best team, then the second will take 4,000, and the third team will take 3,000. But it's just not that. They'll also be able to incubate their businesses till they mature at the different hubs where they come from. So for example, if the Rwandan team wins, we also host it here, make sure we give them marketing tools, we give them hosting spaces for a period till when their businesses can mature and become a reality. And that's the most important part of the business, the incubation part. So they can be here for a year receiving all the resources for free
Also
once they win.
that is now the follow-up procedure of what will happen after they win.
Exactly.
So these applications, will they now be bought probably by people, or how the government or how will the ministries now take part into using these applications and, send them down to the local people, the agricultural people? How will they use it?
Well, the other part of the criteria is to make sure that they are demand driven. So we don't expect anyone to impose those applications to anyone, but all we're looking for is having those applications demand driven. They are out there, then people will be attracted to them because they are solving a challenge that they've been having. So after they've been incubated, we expect the implementation process to be straightforward.
We know that Rwanda aims to be part of the ICT hub, in the world, if not Africa. So what are some of these tips? Because you're a young man, you're the general manager for kLab. First, what does kLab do?
Yes, kLab is a knowledge lab, so it's a laboratory of knowledge in the simple definition. But what we do mostly is open space for young and fresh graduates, computer scientists mostly, but whoever did a tech course where they come with ideas that they want to make into business, and then we assist them, mentor them, and give them the kind of facilities that they wouldn't find elsewhere because of financial constraints or the skills constraints. But here with them, free Wi-Fi, working space, and mentorship and trainings so that they can develop their ideas into business.
So those who say ICT is quite hard to crack, especially the women. How many women do you have in your hub?
Thank you. That's still quite a challenge, but out of a community of 85 tenants, we have 16 ladies, which is not a bad number, where the world statistics say that we have 7 to 8 percent being in the tech community, but here we at least have 20, and we look forward to having more. We have several gender emancipation programs like Girls in ICT,
Yes.
where we have ladies meeting and trying to encourage their fellow ladies to join the tech community as well.
So now for kLab, you say it is a knowledge hub where people just come in. What other kind of hubs do we have in Rwanda, basically in Africa, that could, be challenging to the mind? Our viewers would want to know.
So in Rwanda, it's only kLab that has this model where it's free to come and access, but we also have the office,
Okay.
which is also a hub, a co-working space. So far so good. The two that we have in Rwanda, kLab, we intend to extend this and have several other hubs at each university, so that we not only have this to the people in Kigali, but we have it to all the students across the universities. And in Africa, it's been a trend that has been growing. We so far have over 100 hubs.
Okay.
We have hubs in Kenya, all of these other countries apart from a few in the North Africa.
So we do have hope with ICT.
Sure.
And we do have hope in women who will be joining ICT.
We have more than hope. I don't know what I should call it, because it's just we've just been in existence for 1 year,
Yeah.
and so far we have stories to tell. We have 11 startups. We have people who have begun making money out of the businesses that they began, actually creating jobs as well,
Yes.
employing other people. So it's not just hope, it's more promising.
Okay. So then again, we look at the hackathon. How many women do we have participating in this hackathon?
In the hackathon, we have 45 people. Out of the 45, the ladies are 6.
6. That's quite a good number, So now back to the hackathon again. Do you have a deadline for these people and say, you started yesterday, we expect you to have finished, your application by tomorrow, 6 p.m. deadline? Do you have deadline set for this hackathon?
The deadline is Thursday morning,
Okay.
when they'll do the pitching to the conference right now taking place in Serena. So that's the time they expect to be given awards. This is so and so is first, this is second, and so on. So the deadline is Thursday morning.
So all these brilliant heads have to work so hard so that by tomorrow everything is done.
As you can see, they're having mentors, giving them business tips and so on and so forth. So by Thursday, we expect them to have finished, because besides that, they've been working on the projects ever since they won the national hackathons at their respective countries.
Okay. So just to remind you, we are streaming live from kLab, where we are hosting the hackathon, the regional finals hackathon. We have 45 people in this room who are now trying to hack in their heads and come up with applications that will work with ICT and make it easier for the local farmers across the world with their applications to understand what is happening, be it in the weather, be it in the soil, be it in anything that concerns agriculture. And this will be a way that conference that is also happening today in Kigali, Rwanda, the ICT for Agriculture, which is set to run from the 4th to the 8th of November. This is also an ICT conference that is encouraging young and brilliant minds to come up with applications that will encourage or will, give youth, the light when it comes to agriculture and more understanding to the agricultural farmers, to the people who buy the products, the consumers, to understand what is happening generally easier and, things like that. Yeah. So we are here, the hackathon. This is Mr. Jovani. Now, your other name again? Ntabgoba. Yes. He's the general manager for kLab, and he's trying to give us a brief preview of what is happening, what is hackathon, what is happening in his kLab right now, and what's some of the applications that is happening, the judging criteria, the award ceremony, and everything that pertains to ICT.